Famous Athletics.
Yeah.
So
Famous
what do you say?
Athletics?
Yeah.
Athletics. So
Been ahead of my peers, just used to pedal the slowest. Now you pedal the fastest in a circle of motion. Fame moved up in weight, ran out of opponents, so it's time to.
The Famous Athletics.
in the building.
In the building for that weigh-in.
Let's take a look at the full spectrum of 147 pounds. But before we get into that, still throw that straight left down the pipe. Make sure you hit that like button and share this with anybody you talk boxing with. Any type of sports. It's still the dopest channel on the planet. Now that we got that out the way. So, I just had to get my little laugh out before I start doing what I do. And I noticed that I'm very different from, a lot of people on this YouTube thing. And I'm just different in general. But I'm definitely different as far as opinion based. I keep my opinion to myself or I spread it on my channel. I do not go under people's comment section on videos and say, this is not how I feel. You should do this. You should do that. The only thing I say is leave your comments in the comment section. If you don't have a channel and you're not, subscribers, you ain't got a lot of people following, you're not a loyal sub, don't come over here telling me what to do. Don't try to sway my opinion to feel how you feel, because obviously this is not the channel for you. If you think that's gonna happen, but at the end of the day, you got Jesse Vargas versus Kell Brook in the works. And the winner should face Amir Khan and Terrence Bud Crawford. So these are all fights that nobody wants to really physically see. The way they matching and mixing the fights, it's more like Kell Brook should be fighting Amir Khan, Terrence Crawford should be fighting Errol Spence, Keith Thurman should be facing Sean Porter. Danny Garcia should be facing a Sean Porter rematch, if that's the case, or something like that. Or Danny Garcia should be facing Ugas. The matching is off, and pardon me, I know I got some of them wrong, but for the most part, the first welterweight bouts for each of these top welterweights, whether you put Kell Brook in your top 5, Manny Pacquiao versus Adrian Broner, like these fights, Keith Thurman could have been fighting Manny Pacquiao, could have been fighting somebody else. But none of these guys are facing guys that we want to see them fight. A lot of the fights we think are landslides. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, like the Garcias versus the Granados, the Pacquiao versus Broners. We feel those are lopsided fights. We feel that Sean Porter is going to beat Ugas. We feel that Keith Thurman is going to beat Lopez. We feel that Errol Spence is going to beat Mikey Garcia. We feel Terrence Crawford is going to beat Amir Khan, and we also feel that Kell Brook is going to beat Jesse Vargas. So if you look at the landscape, if you're not critiquing all of these fighters, don't come in this comment section saying you don't know boxing, you don't know this, you don't know that. Well, quite frankly, you don't know what you want. You just taking what was given to you, and at the end of the day, this is what's given to you. These guys fighting here. All of these guys fighting here, but not the opponents that you want to see them fight. Now, the second half of the year, because these guys only going to fight twice a year, none of them is going to fight 3 times a year. I'll be surprised if any of these guys fight 3 times a year. But you got Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, the most talked about. And then Manny Pacquiao versus Adrian Broner, because that fight's coming up. Thurman versus Lopez is not getting too much talk about. But with that being said, I say that to say this, man. At the end of the day, none of your favorite guys at welterweight is facing who they want to face. So we can't just put the blame on people not fighting this guy and this guy ducking. I'm tired of that. That is corny. That's all you guys really say is, this guy is ducking this guy, that guy. Well, everybody is ducking if that's the case. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the circumstances. Principle never changes. The principle is going off what really happened. Is this fighter facing the guy you want him to fight? I don't want to hear why. Is he facing him next? Is Errol Spence facing any of the guys you really want to see him face next? No. Is Keith Thurman facing any of the guys you want to see him face next? No. Is Manny Pacquiao? No, we did not want to see him versus Adrian Broner. We would rather see him versus somebody else. Manny Pacquiao is taking on Adrian Broner. That's not the fight people wanted to see initially, but since it's here, we take it. Kell Brook, we want to see him versus Amir Khan. Terrence Crawford, we want to see. Look, I can go over and over in a circle and go around and around and make your head spin, but at the same time, it is what it is at the end of the day. You're taking boxing with a grain of salt, But don't come over here and saying these guys are ducking, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. None of these guys are facing fighters that you want to see them face. This just to tell the 147 pounds, the landscape of it. Come on, we gotta build over here. We're not tearing down, we're trying to build and show people like, listen, this is what's not happening, but this is what we're taking as boxing fans. So as the biggest fight approaches for the first quarter, which is Mikey Garcia getting brutalized by Errol Spence Jr., you know, Victor Conte can't help. The weight clause that y'all talking about, he got to fight. Listen, his last 7 fights, Errol Spence Jr. has been weighing in 157 pounds on fight day. You know, that with the 10-pound weight limit. So as you get sharper, as your brain gets smarter, keep that same energy, Mikey Garcia. And also that photo of Mikey Garcia being hanged as a sacrificial lamb, I didn't make that cover. And I put a disclaimer in the video for a reason. Get out your feelings. This is not church. This is not one of the classes where we preach over here. This is entertainment. If you look at my banner when you come to my channel, it says entertainment. Your beliefs have nothing to do with me. My beliefs have nothing to do with you. But when you step into my world, don't tell me how to change what I do. And I won't tell you how to change what you do. So with that being said, I just want to say this. Make sure if you critiquing one fighter, you critiquing them all. And the biggest fight that we're waiting for as of right now is Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr. So everything's still a sport. So where's my sportsmanship award? And just like that, Famus is gone.
We don't walk, we be biting. He's done. He's done. Let's go, E. Let's go, E. Strap season. He's done.
Free smoke.
Anybody want it, they could get it.
No joke.
The biggest, the baddest, and the best. Famous